Hello?
Hi, Earl.
Oh, good, you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Not sure if the video's working, but as long as you have my voice.
Yeah, I can't see
Yeah, I
you.
don't understand why I hit oh, there we go. Let's see, select the camera. FaceTime HD camera built in? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not right, is it? Can you see me yet?
Nope.
Oh, there I am up in the
Right.
corner.
Yes,
I can see me.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
But you can't.
I can see you.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yes.
And you can hear me.
Yep, I'm gonna have to correct I've got to send a picture to my computer here.
Okay. And I frequently, for whatever reason, lose the video. So, but as long as we can hear each other, we can do the meeting.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
Send it anyway. Hello, Katrina.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Katrina.
Hi, amazing what happens when you actually put the meeting on the calendar.
Join the club. Join the club.
It happens to all of us from time to time.
Yeah, I just feel bad. You guys volunteer all the time and, keep you hanging and just
No problem.
not,
No problem. You guys are so
it's,
good about
it's not right, and I'm sorry.
it.
I once missed a meeting, so and I'm the one who's supposed to start them, so
Right, yeah.
it happens to us all. I'm just trying to rename so we identify historic district people. Change. Okay, that's done.
Okay.
Expecting Pat and Toby. I'm going to, I've sent, Earl, did you get the packet on Patrina's application?
I did a while back. I looked at it.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
including the revision, correct?
I
The
believe so. Yeah.
713 revision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm just trying to call up see if I can get the plot plan.
Okay.
It should be on the last page of the
Yeah,
revision.
no, I have it, but I didn't, I can't find it. Somehow, for some reason, it's not on my computer, so I can't pull it up. So I just took a picture of it and I'm hoping to save it.
It changed the location somewhat, didn't it? I mean,
Of the,
of the air conditioning.
no,
unit.
we did the air conditioners. This is for the walkways and the,
My public hearing
Oh.
my public hearing says 582 Route 169 for air conditioners, equipment, and roof. That's on the agenda
Yeah,
for
right.
today. But
Yeah,
those are all done.
the patio on the sidewalk was for the next meeting,
Oh, the
where
next
I'm
meeting.
happy to do it at this meeting, but
No, you
didn't
can't.
notice
No.
it.
No, all right.
So we
then
have
I
to
can,
change the agenda then, Gail, a little bit?
no, we don't.
No.
Can't change the agenda.
Okay, but it does say for air conditioners.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're right, it does.
Okay.
Katrina is peppering me with with applications, and I got
Okay.
them totally
Yeah.
confused.
We
No,
just have too many projects, Earl.
it's an impressive, yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
There it is. I've got the revised, I knew I'd saved the one for this meeting, so, okay, that takes care of that. So I've got that saved. Right, all right, we're good.
Got it?
Yep, I'm good. I can pull it up if we need to.
Okay.
And so Earl will have two, we've got two. We'll do Katrina first, and then we'll move on to Roseland.
Okay.
I was happy to see that they're trying to redo the fence.
Well, we've been working on the fence for, we've been working on the fence since we got the property.
I was
And
gonna say, for many years, right?
many years we've rebuilt and repaired, and it's an ongoing process, and we keep trying to come up with a repair and a repair that will allow us to. Hi, Janice.
Hi, Gail, how are you?
Hi.
In the usual last minute rush to get everything organized here. So we keep trying to come up, Historic New England keeps trying to come up with a repair that will last.
Yeah,
So
treated wood. I know.
that's really not what we do. Janice most forcibly about that, but
Right.
that's the last ditch effort, probably.
Yeah, well, if it's not treated wood or plastic, you're gonna have to keep on repairing it because that's the nature of regular wood.
Yep. We've been ever since I've been here
Yeah,
with Historic New England, we've been working on it, continuously working on it.
I think part of the solution is better maintenance. So rather than waiting for things to get to the point where you have to repair them, if you, you know, dig out some of the rot when it appears, so you can, you know, maybe just do a quick fill with a putty and then a linseed oil paint, making sure the snow doesn't sit on the bottom rail. All of that maintenance could go a long ways towards, you know, keeping the fence longer.
Yep,
But
living the life, right?
yeah, but like everything else, it's you know, do we have the staff and do we have the money? So
Yeah.
or the volunteers, right?
Right, right.
And it's a long run of fence, and when
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
the town plows the road,
Oh, yeah, right.
blows all that treated snow up
Yep.
around the fence, and it can turn into ice and sit there for weeks,
Days or weeks, yeah.
days or weeks. So it's you know, it's unrealistic to think somebody's going to get out there and shovel both sides of
Yeah,
that entire run of fence. So that in itself is a problem. We keep the leaves. Rosen does a great job of keeping it free of leaf buildup from the
Mhm.
trees.
That's huge, yeah.
But and there's a final fall cleanup to make sure that there's nothing there that's going to then get trapped and encased in ice. But it's the treated product, the treated snow that
Yeah.
sits on it.
you almost need a plastic wrap for it for the winter.
I could see that.
Like they do with boats, you know, where they wrap them, shrink
Right.
wrap them for the winter.
Or it's the kind of thing that they use to put over evergreens, and the kind of
Right,
oh, it's almost like a foam cone that goes over some.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
burlap is usually over evergreens because it needs to breathe, but you know, it's not always helpful.
So we are waiting for Pat, who has assured me he will join us.
Did you say Toby was not gonna make it tonight?
Toby is here.
Oh, he is there. Well, I didn't see him. Hi, Toby.
Toby, and we have a special visitor. I don't know if it's we have to record the name of your cat, Toby, or not.
It's hard to keep her from joining the proceedings.
Yeah, I'll have to put her down as a member of the public.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Toby, I mean, Earl, in addition to Katrina Dawson, we have Janice Sherman.
How do you spell it, Janice?
Jeanice.
N-I what?
CE.
C-E. Okay. Jeanice. Sure.
Correct.
Okay.
And she's with Historic New England.
Yep.
Hi, neighbor.
Hi. Mr. Bishop, are you related to the bishops of the Bishop House on Route 169?
possibly very distantly, but I'm acutely interested in reopening the Bishop Tavern in Woodstock, if that ever becomes feasible.
And where is that?
That's private ownership there, Toby.
Ah, well, I'm biding my time.
Yeah, oh, and your lottery win.
Indeed, indeed.
It's Janice, Bishop Tavern is the building that was where well, that's Henry Bowen's, right? No, Ace
Oh,
is
really?
the bishop.
Oh, is that where the wedding event place is now?
No,
No,
No.
it's up, it's closer to the academy, I believe.
Ace Bishop Tavern, I'm pretty sure is Henry Bowen's birthplace.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Interesting.
It started out as Bishop's and then was purchased by Bowen's. I could be wrong, and I'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
Gail, if Pat doesn't show up, are
We
we
can
able to
start.
to
Yeah.
do the Dawson's meeting?
I'll give him 2 more minutes and then we can start Katrina.
Okay, great.
Well, I asked about the Bishop House because my husband and I bought the Bishop House about 5 years ago, I think. It's the one that's used to be white, now it's gray. Up by the English neighborhood brook.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
The Four Corners in North Woodstock.
right.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
yeah. So when we bought it, it was called the Bishop House. So of course, that's how we bought it from Historic New England. And so they have a lot of the the furniture and artwork and everything at their storage facility in Haverhill.
Oh,
But
nice.
my husband and I are restoring the house bit by bit, and
Wow.
yeah, it's that's what brings me to stay in Woodstock. But of course, managing Roseland is
Yeah,
is a full-time job almost in itself.
definitely.
Yeah, Toby, yes, the Asa Bishop Tavern is Henry Bowen's birthplace.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's the building, Janice, and Katrina, that's directly next to, it's the private residence that is next to Woodstock Academy. It's to the north of Woodstock Academy
Okay.
Oh, okay.
on Academy Road.
Right near the
Okay.
road, very close to the road.
Very
Okay.
close to the road, right?
Yeah,
It's
okay,
it's
oh,
a
nice.
fairly large spot. It's a large
Yeah.
building and then has a large L extension on
Yeah,
it.
For
And-
such an illustrious fellow as Henry Bowen to have been born in a bar is really quite surprising.
Well, tavern, which is different. His father was took over the tavern and opened up a general store there. So Bowen's origins are just everyday, the average man. He is one of those 19th century stories of the average man who went off and
made his fortune.
made a fortune. He was at the right place at the right time with the right qualifications and the right skills
Yeah,
to capitalize on an economic trend at the time.
yeah.
Well, and it probably explains his pro-temperance bend.
Like he was, I don't want to take up time from the public hearing, but when he was 16, which would have been 1829, a temperance group came through Woodstock and they captured a goodly number of the teenagers in the community and locked them in a house and proselytized to them all through the night and would not let them leave until they signed a temperance pledge. And back in 1829, people had a different idea of when you sign your name to something and make a pledge.
Right.
And
Right.
having done that and become indoctrinated at the, influential age of 16, he kept it it's something he kept his entire life.
Wow.
So he wasn't, and I don't think being a tavern owner or tavern owner's son bothered him until they got a hold of him when he was 16, and then
Right. I just thought he saw too many drunks, and that it might have been easier for him to get
Probably. Oh.
to get signed on because of that.
I think it was more, you know, think about trapping trapping influence kids in a building for hours on end and
Oh
just
yeah.
pressuring them. All right, enough of that. Pat will
Okay.
eventually join us. So we will call the meeting to order. We don't need any alternates appointed at this point. And so Katrina will follow this basic format of the public hearing. You'll provide us with the information. We'll ask questions. Members of the public then will be invited to ask questions. You'll have a final chance to provide any additional information. We'll ask any additional questions. Then we'll close the public hearing, and the commission members will deliberate on the application.
Do you want me to read the notice?
Yes, please do.
A public hearing on August 13th at 6:30 p.m. for 582 Route 169 for air conditioners, equipment, and roof, and 556 Route 169 for fence repairs.
Thank you. And so we will start with 582 Route 169 first. That's for Dawson's. So Katrina, stage is yours.
Thank you. So I will start out with air conditioners. We are trying to put in a central air conditioning system that is going to actually be 3 condensers outside, but everything else is going to be inside. We wanted to put them over by the woodshed, which was kind of on the west side, out of the way. All of the air conditioning people that came in said the line is going to be too long, you're going to lose efficiency, you're not going to have good air conditioner, that it's better to move them much closer to the house. So then we looked around, and the one place where they fit is over by the dining room bump out. It also happens that there is a window there that goes to the basement, so it makes it very easy to take the lines from the condenser units and put it inside in the basement, and then we can move it to the 3rd floor through 2 interior closets to move it to the attic. So the air handlers, we're going to have 1 in the basement, 2 in the attic. The back part of the house we're not going to do till about a year from now, because that's going to be with a heat pump and everything, but the front part of the house we're trying to do this fall, so we're ready for it. Each of the compressors is 34 by 34. We need to put a slab under it, but the slab is not going to be raised. You know, it's going to be, if it's raised, it's like 1 or 2 inches above the ground, so that the condensers, if they don't sit on a stable thing, you're gonna need to replace them and everything else.
Yeah.
We've been told that we should do a fence because, again, the condensers don't like dogs peeing on them, and we do have a male dog that might decide that those corners are very good for raising your leg. So we're thinking of using the same fencing material that, you know, we used for the regular dog fence. And yes, we will be putting all of the stuff in front. We just, because we moved late, we couldn't get the landscaping done this year. It was already too hot by the time we started doing that. So there will be a fence around it. I drew it on the map, not exactly to scale, but I think that that's how it's going to look like. There'll be a fence that's going to have the no climb fence, so the dogs can't get in there, with a gate. So we can get in there if we need to do maintenance.
Katrina, do you want me to share the map so you can talk to that?
If you think it's needed.
I do. I think that would be a
Okay.
piece for us to have. No, that's not the one. Hold on, let me get it. Try this again.
Great, yes. So from Route 169, in front of the existing fence, we're gonna be putting rhododendrons and we're gonna be putting azaleas and stuff, so you're not gonna be able to see it from Route 169, and that will go in either this fall or very early next spring, so that they don't die. From Old Hall Road, I sent you guys some pictures. There are all those big hemlocks. There are a bunch of bushes. There's one area where you can kind of see it, but I'm thinking that with the fence as it is, and if we do that other fence, you won't be able to see that there are actual air conditioner condensers. You'll be able to see the fences and that'll be about it. And then, you know, at the next meeting, I'm gonna tell you guys about the patio we're doing right next to them. So people are gonna be looking at the patio, not at the air conditioners.
Well, the existing fence looks like it would block the fence you're putting up, no?
Well, remember, it's a split rail fence.
Oh, yeah,
So it's a three, you can see it in the pictures that I
Yeah.
sent, that it's a
Yeah.
split rail fence, but it does
Right.
block
Yeah.
the view quite a bit.
Yeah, okay, got it.
And this is the location.
That's
Yeah.
where they'll be, yeah,
For the
all
conden-
three, yeah.
So the condensers will be here and you'll have
New
fence.
fence there.
Yeah.
And the new fence will not be like an open railing, it'll be
No, it'll be the same. It will match the fence that's in the photo.
it will, okay.
Yeah,
So the visibility will not be eliminated, but it'll be reduced.
it will be reduced, correct. And eventually, as we do more planting around the dog area, it might be eliminated altogether, but I don't know exactly what we're gonna do because of the hemlocks and everything else.
Yeah, okay.
So there will be no, you know, lines going up that are visible on the outside or anything like that. All the lines are going inside, so all you're gonna see is that slab and you know, two compressors and then a third one, you know, when we do that.
And you said the compressors are 34 by 34.
Right, so they're like a cube, 34 by 34 by 34. Some of them are 36, but I think the ones we're getting are gonna be 34.
And what color are they?
They're gray.
Okay.
We can paint them blue for you guys if you want us to.
Gray's a good indistinct color.
Okay, that's helpful.
All right, do you guys want me to move on to the roof?
Let's pause and see if there, let's see, that's all that I have. Wait a minute. Let me just get out of this, stop the share. That's all I have in terms of photos for this. So, commission members, any questions?
Nope.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, so, and I think mine have been answered. So yes, go on to the roof.
All right, so last time I told you guys that we're repairing the roof, but you can't see it from the road. Apparently I lied, because when the contractor came, he said, I could see it from the roof, from the road. So I went back to the road, like I couldn't see it from the back, but I went back to the road in front and you can see it from the road a little bit. The other thing that the contractor said is that he could see under all that tar paper that it originally had been a copper roof, which made more sense to me when they did the bump out. I think it would have been in the late 1800s, whenever they put the bathrooms in here, right? So it would be late 1800s, very early 1900s, that they would have put a copper roof there. So he could see the copper under it. So, and he also said that the thing that would work the best for this kind of bump outs would be a metal roof. You know, the same way Roseland Cottage has metal roofs over the bump outs. Of like the bow windows and the front doorway and stuff. He initially the roof, the way it is built now, it's built with a built-in gutter. And the contractor really advised against that. He said, if we do the built-in gutter, those seams are gonna leak, everything is gonna leak, and you're not gonna know it until your ceiling falls down. So the best thing to do is basically to get rid of that thing that looks like a molding, you know, like a roof molding, and have the roof come all the way down and then put a regular white gutter around it. Now the crenels, the little things that you can see in, I think, the second picture, which are little, they're very small, that are under the soffit, they're gonna stay, and they're these Victorian kind of S-shaped.
Yeah, let me see.
Like a bracket.
It's like a bracket, yeah. It's like a bracket. I could probably take a picture off the window and just show it to you all. But it's in the application, it's in this picture over here, you can see when I said remain, you can see the bracket there, not very well, but
Let's see
I probably should have sent you a better photo of the bracket.
which picture are we talking about here? Wait, one
The
on the
second
right?
one where I put remain, and I have a little arrow to the, yeah, no, you moved past it. Next one, okay,
Oh, there
The
it
one
is.
on the right.
there it is, yeah.
Yep.
So those will stay there. It will just be that the gutter will be, like in the first picture, will be all the way to the bottom of the soffit. And it will come off of the gutter into the existing line.
Mm. So if we're looking at the picture on the left,
Yeah,
the whole ridge line is the slope is going to change, correct? You're going down to where you've drawn the blue line?
no, well, because it's a gutter, I think the slope is probably gonna stay where it is. He didn't say, if the slope changes is maybe by 1 degree.
Okay, so what you've drawn here with the blue is the gutter. This
The
is
gutter, correct.
and then it will drop down here. So what
Yeah.
you're eliminating is this jog there and the internal gutter.
Right.
Right.
Right, and I might have drawn it a little lower than where it's gonna be because I'm not, you know, I didn't measure the inside of the built-in gutter.
Mhm.
But what the contractor said to me is that the existing slope, which is the pitch of the roof, which you see on the third picture on the next page, like the next picture, is gonna stay the same. So he's not gonna make it any steeper than it is. He's gonna go exactly where it is, but eliminate that built-in gutter, and it will go all the way to the edge.
So that's visible. Did you say that part of the roof was visible from what, Old Hall?
From it's actually, this is from
160.
169
Okay.
and Old Hall too, but Old Hall is like way down the road. Probably the AC application has the visibility of that from Old Hall.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the bracket will remain, but will be underneath the gutter?
it will be underneath the gutter.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're not changing, other than taking the gutter out from where the soffit is, right? We're
Yeah.
not changing the soffit or the brackets. And I should say gutter, the downspout. I used the wrong word.
Mhm.
I'm getting very good at construction words, but I'm not 100% there yet.
Okay.
What's the, your,
The
you gonna-
mater-
you're
the
put-
mater- the material is a metal roofing that has, it's, you know, I sent you the photo. This is the sample that the roofing contractor sent me.
Mhm.
It will have ridges. It's not standing seam. But it fastens, right? It, um, it crimps, my
Mhm.
husband says.
What's the spacing between the ridges?
It's about 16 inches.
And what color, since the color is integral to the material?
Yeah, the color is black. We considered copper, but after a couple of years, copper fades and this one wouldn't. And the color that they had was the faded copper just didn't look right to us at all. So, you know, the choices were either copper, as if we put it on this year and it stays that way, or black. And we thought that since it's black right now, for you all, it would be better if we go with black. And obviously the sample, those bay windows are much higher, you know, pitch than what we have on our thing. I don't even know that you'd be able to see the ridges or anything from the road.
Mhm.
But it looks very similar to the roof that's on the entrance of Roseland Cottage or on the bay windows. And definitely will look the same as the roof that's on the main academy building.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Janice, but our roof those are copper, aren't they?
I can't correct you, Gail, because I'm not 100% sure. If I'm not actually there looking at it, I don't always remember. I
Mm.
do know that on the main building, we have wood shingle, but for the bump outs, I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess it's copper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when they were replaced with copper.
Copper. Yeah, now copper is so prohibitive nowadays to do it. We would love to do it in copper, but you know, there's also a barn and a carriage house to repair and some other stuff, so.
Right. Copper, the patina that copper gets is not black. I mean,
Right.
it eventually ages darker, but it doesn't usually age to black.
Can be green, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it goes to green. We looked at the colors that the roofing contractor provided, and we didn't like that aged copper color. It looked fake to us, right? So if you guys want the like brand new copper color, I have no problem with that.
I think before we couldn't decide on that without looking at the materials.
Mhm.
And so seeing those colors.
Yeah.
But the existing roof is, let's see if I can go get the picture of it,
Hard to see it.
is black, is
Yeah.
this
Right.
regular black roofing.
Well, it's like if you go one down, it's tar paper and you know, and asphalt basically, like macadam kind of stuff on top of the copper. Tar.
Yeah.
And that's why we're having the problems we're having, because instead of redoing the roof in copper, they put the paper and the stuff. I think we're gonna have to replace that entire roof because it's probably all rotted underneath.
Right, here's views from 169.
Right,
There's not a whole lot of visibility of the roof.
Well, we're
I mean, you
talking this section right here.
Yeah, just that little out thing, isn't it? Yeah,
Right.
yep.
can't see much of it.
See, that's why, like, when I took the first picture, like, you know, a month ago, I didn't think you could see it at all.
Well, some of it'll depend on the season of the year too.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to share with us at this point?
Nope.
Okay, commission members, I'm gonna leave these pictures here so we can refer to them if you need them. Questions?
None for me.
Earl, do you have any
No,
questions?
no additional ones.
Let's see. Let me just, hold on. Just sending a text to Pat.
Yeah, something must have come up for him.
All right. So we will be deliberating on installation of compressors that, let's see, let me stop my share. That are 34 by 34 by 34. That will go
Great.
on, that will go on, Katrina, 2 concrete slabs. So right now,
On one concrete slab, it will be like a one that can fit all 3 of them with about a foot in between.
so, in between each compressor.
It's compressor, so it's gonna be about 12 feet by 30 by 3.5 feet.
Okay. And it will extend 1 to 2 inches above ground, and it's going to be a concrete slab.
Yep,
The whole installation is, okay, going to be surrounded by fencing that will connect with the existing dog run fence and duplicate that dog run fence.
correct.
The compressors themselves will be gray. And then we'll also be deliberating on replacing the roof with a metal roof. The existing roof being copper with tar over it. The metal roof will be, the ridges will be 16 inches apart. The color, proposed color is black. The repairs will also be made to the gutters. Downspout will remain, but I guess we'd say the internal gutters will be
Eliminated.
will no longer be used. They'll still, yeah. And the soffits and brackets unchanged, the downspout same, but an external gutter will be I'm sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once. The new gutter will be external guttering will be installed that will connect to the existing downspout.
Correct.
And the guttering color is
White. It will match the rest of the gutters on the house. Yeah, the rest of the house has all external gutters with downspouts, no built-in gutters or anything.
so. Any final questions, Toby or Earl?
Nope.
No, I'm okay.
I will look for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so public hearing is closed. Gentlemen, the little discussion, and I'm going to be sending the Zoom link information to Pat.
Okay.
Your discussion?
I don't have any additional discussion.
Nope.
Okay. Comments. The compressor, I think is fairly straightforward. It will be relatively hidden. The fence will blend in, and I don't think it'll be too visible behind the fences, and there's no external pieces to it other than the 3 compressors. So that seems a very thoughtful and sensitive installation there.
Yep.
The roof is a change. Yeah. The metal roof is consistent with what appears to be what was there before. So it's a reasonable change, especially on something that was just that looks like it had been repaired. But it's a bigger change by reconfiguring, by adding the external gutter and no longer using the internal gutter. So it changes the configuration of that one small space. But I don't think it would have significant, here's Pat, don't think it has significant impact on the overall appearance of the building.
Yeah, plus I like the fact that it's consistent with the other gutters on the rest of the house. The new ones
Right.
will be.
I think that anytime a very historic house like this one and one of the anchor properties in the district is changed in any way, even small ways, in ways that are more permanent than others, I think it's important that we make sure we document what exists before the change takes place, if we approve the change.
Yeah.
Just to be consistent. Houses like this are upgraded and improved. They've been upgraded, improved for over 200 years. So, changes added all the time, and changes made with newer technology when another one fails. So it's not on a small level like this is. It's not unreasonable. If it was a bigger change, I think we'd have a much more serious discussion. Pat, just to bring you up to speed, we are about to vote on, make a decision on the Dawson's application for installation of compressors for air conditioning, and also for repairing the dining room bump out roof that's on the Old Hall Road side, the north side of the building. It's in the northeast corner. And there's going to be a bit of a change. So I'm going to go through it one more time. The compressors are going to be on a 12-foot by 3.5-foot concrete slab right outside that dining room bump out on the Old Hall Row side. There'll be they will be at first 2 34 by 34 inch, 34 by 34 by 34 inch compressors, most likely a third one eventually added, but there will be no other external ductwork or anything else that will be visible. The whole thing will be enclosed in a in a fence that will mimic the dog fence and intersect with the existing dog fence, the compressors themselves will be great. And then the second part of the application is to re-roof that dining room bump out section. It's currently tar over what appears to be copper. And the proposal is to remove the tar probably.
They're gonna have to replace the entire
Right.
underlayment of that roof, so it's probably replacing the whole roof.
We're removing everything and installing a metal roof, black metal roof with 16 inches between the ridges, between the seams. And it will also require, because of leakage and the internal gutters on that roof not working, removal of the internal gutter, slight change to the profile because an external gutter will be installed, white external gutter will be installed, and it will connect to the existing downspout, an existing decorative bracket underneath. The gutter will be retained. And as you weren't here for all the run up to our discussion, you won't have to vote on this, but this brings you up to speed to what you're hearing. And since we're in the deliberation phase, if you have questions for us on that, you can ask questions. No, okay,
Good.
all right. So Earl and Toby.
I'll move to approve the application as submitted, contingent on an agreement that they'll document the current roof with pictures.
Toby,
I'll second that.
okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstaining? No. All right, so approved, Katrina,
Okay.
with the condition that it be documented. I would say I'll come over sometime in the next couple of days with my camera,
Okay,
just take pictures.
I had sent you a video that I had attached it to your email, to a video that the contractor had taken of the whole
Mhm. Yep,
roof too.
Yep,
But-
and we've got that to put in the record, and I've got a couple, and I'll take other additional record shots so that
Yeah,
you've got those for the file.
sure.
And so so you're all set.
Yeah, and we have a couple of windows that overlook that on the second floor, so you don't even have to break your neck to do that.
Okay.
Ah,
Can I stay in and listen on the Roseland Cottage wall?
Absolutely. And,
Thank you.
And at this point, we will appoint Pat a regular member, voting member.
sure.
All right, Janice, you're up.
Okay, so I'm Janice Sherman. I am the Preservation Project Manager for the for Metro Boston and the southern region of historic New England. And one of my properties, obviously, is the Roseland Cottage. I'm very excited about it. And I'll be coming before you guys, I hope, for a few other projects that we have down the road. But right now, we're just going to be discussing repairs to the fence. You folks probably all know the woeful condition of the fence. Historic New England, for many years, has taken out one or two sections of fence every 1 or 2 years, made extensive repairs in our carpentry shop, which is in Waltham at the Lyman Estate. While those fence sections are out, placeholder sections are put in, to keep the integrity of the perimeter, and so people can kind of readily know that things are being repaired. Those fence sections are repaired and replaced, and then we move on to the next few sections in the next few years. So it's a very slow process. And as we've made repairs to the fence over time, we've realized that the bottom rail is particularly prone to water infiltration, moisture problems, primarily due to the fact of, well, really three things probably. Grass and debris and leaves will sit on it for some time every now and then. Treated snow sits on it for a while. And exposure to the elements, when the paint cracks, then, moisture can get in. But probably one of the biggest problems is that its current detailing has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 sections on the bottom rail. So we're proposing a couple of things. One, the overall proposal is that with the help of a donor, we're able to replace many, many sections at a time, which just I'm sorry, when I say replace, I really mean remove, repair, and return. So overall, there's like, I'm gonna mess these numbers up. We have 40 something sections. And I have them all in the information I provided Gail, but of those 40 something sections, we need to, well, at least 27 of them need extensive repairs. And then there's another 11 or so that need some repair. And so because of the length of time that would take Historic New England, a donor came forward and said, look, we'll give you a chunk of money, get as much done as you can, and then Historic New England has to commit to restoring the remaining fence sections in the next year or two. So that's what we're trying to do. Because it was a repair, I didn't understand that I needed to come before you folks, and thank goodness people I work with said, oh, by the way, you need to go in front of the Historic District Commission. So here I am, a little late. We've already sent out the scope of work, and we've selected a contractor, but obviously before we sign that contract, we need to get your approval. So that's why I'm here at a little bit of a late date. The other thing that we're going to ask your approval on is a change to the bottom rail detail. And if I can share my screen, I can pull that up. Is it okay for me to share?
I think so, Janice. Give it a
Okay.
try and see if
Let's see what happens.
it gets blocked or not.
Oh, let's see.
Yep. It looks like it's going to work.
Yeah, except this isn't what I want.
Try it again.
Hold on. Okay, just give me a second to find the file. I had it pulled up, and then of course,
Sure.
give me a second. Okay, so this email right here.
You'll have to reshare your screen.
Okay. Oh, okay, can you guys see that email? Okay, and so there's 2 photos in here. So, and this is from Omri, who is our, he's the head of our carpentry crew. So I'm sorry, let's see if I can,
You should just be able to click on it and open it.
Yes, theoretically, yeah.
can you see it? I've opened it.
Oh, no, it's not coming up.
Oh, you
Sometimes there's a lag. You know why? It's because you selected the email window to share, and now you have to select the photo window to share.
Janice,
Okay.
I may
So-
have, I think I saved these.
Sometimes when you click share, you can select screen. So whatever you're seeing, we're seeing.
Okay, so I'm not smart enough to
Gail,
do
are
that.
these the same photos that you
Yes.
shared with us?
They're the same ones I sent you all.
Okay.
Okay, so essentially, I'm going to pull the photo up for myself so I can talk about the photo. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
that's
If you
fine.
pull the photo up and then share your screen, we should be able to see your photo.
Okay. So, sorry for this, you guys.
That's all right. We've seen the pictures separately, so we're familiar with it.
Yeah. If you don't-
Okay, all
And
right.
I'm
Well,
done.
in that case, what I'll say is that before historic New England started making its replacements about 20 years ago, the original rail was in like one triangular piece with two side rails attached to it. And then about 20 years ago, we changed the design, so it was a triangular piece with another little rail underneath it, and then the side pieces. So there was a total of 4 pieces. We're going back to the original design, which is just 3 pieces. So it'll be the triangular piece, and then the 2 side rails kind of rabbited into the bottom rail. So it's a simpler design, and it's hopefully less prone. So between the overall project of extensive repairs to fence sections in 1 year and the change to the bottom rail, those are really the 2 requests that we're making for approval from the historic district.
So I'm gonna share, just to reiterate, I pulled up the designs, Janice. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, so this is the newer design, which reflects the oldest design.
Yeah.
And then this was a design that was in place about 20 years ago. So actually, the triangular section was actually 2 pieces with a 3rd piece below holding the side rails.
Yeah.
and so this is what you'll return to.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So the contractor we have is we put it out to bid to about so a total of 7 contractors, all of whom were local and relatively small shops, but we also sent it out to Synaxo, which is a larger company in Connecticut. We've done work with Synaxo before, and Synaxo was able to give us a bid where the work would be done at about twice the amount of money that our donor was willing to give us.
Okay.
There was one bid that came in to replace all sections of the fence at around $400,000. So we nixed that bid right off the bat. So you can see that there is a tremendous range as to what local contractors can do. Sourcing the wood is very difficult.
Yeah.
And doing the very intricate work on the quatrefoils is difficult too. So we did go with a Connecticut-based firm, slightly larger than some of the local guys, but at a price that was reasonable and using all of the wood species we required. We did not want pressure treated wood. We did not want mahoganies. So using western red cedar for the bottom rail and eastern white pine for all other components.
What what is currently the woods that are being used?
It's a little bit of a mix of woods because from 20 years ago, I believe there were. I'm not 100% sure all of the wood species, but we're now just, originally it was just eastern white pine. And eastern white pine is just not sufficient for the bottom rail. So I think at one point they had used pressure treated and other woods, and now our new our carpentry crew, after many repairs, has decided that western red cedar would be the best for the bottom rail.
And the rest of the components were white pine,
Yes,
and they're going to stay white pine.
yes,
The rest of the fence components.
yes.
Okay.
The other, I'm not even sure we'd call this a change. The fence will be painted and it'll be white, but over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, we were moving towards linseed oil paint. It's a paint that is really resistant to a lot of the problems that you know, an acrylic paint might have. It's a little bit more difficult to use, the cleanup. It's an oil-based paint, but it's natural. It's based on, you know, linseed oils, and it has no VOCs. It meets all of the you know, the safety data requirements of paints these days, but it's it just has more longevity than some of the other paints we've been using. So at the end of the project, which is going to be phased over 2 years, we'll do around $50,000 worth of work this year, and then maybe hopefully another 30 to 40,000. We'll tie it all up next year. And when it's all done, we'll go through and repaint everything that hasn't been done in the last 2 years, so that all sections match and they're all painted in linseed oil paint. And whether or not we do that work ourselves or contract that out, a lot of that just depends on, you know, what kind of bids we could get on that work and whether or not our carpentry crew has enough time to actually do the work. So, but the intent is to have everything painted to match at the end of the day.
Quick question for you. Did you guys already look at the comparison for doing everything in cedar just because of its longevity compared to the white pine?
No, because we don't really want to replace everything. We want to keep as much as we can. So where the white pine exists, we're keeping that.
Gotcha. It's not being replaced in white pine. It's just the original pieces.
Yes.
Okay.
Or where, if I understood the writing, or where there was a failed piece that could not be consolidated, or, you know, that could not be saved, then the replacement would be in the same material, correct?
Right, except on the bottom rail, because
the
not
bottom
the
rail.
bottom rail isn't always a red cedar.
But the
Yeah.
other, say for example, one of the quatrefoil squares is
Replaced in kind.
replaced in kind. Okay, so in that case, if it's replaced in kind, then those sections we do not need to approve. It's so what will be, be focused on
Bottom rail.
change. Yeah, those things which are the change.
Which is the bottom rail, correct, Gail?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, in general, anything that's a repair or replacement within the same material doesn't require approval. But in this case, that bottom rail is changing forms, changing structure.
Yes.
And it should be, should go into the minutes to serve as an example for other projects within the district, that one of your objectives is to retain as much of the original material as is possible and realistic.
That's right.
And to replace, and if needed to replace in kind, replaced in kind where necessary. And appropriate.
Could you repeat the time frame that we were looking at again? You said 1.5 to 2 years. Did I hear you correct?
So it should be 2 years, and we're talking fiscal years. So
Okay.
currently we're in fiscal year 25, which ends in March. And then fiscal year 26 will start in April 1st and run until March 31st of the following year. So we'll be doing all phases of the work in those 2 fiscal years. So it probably won't, you know, if hopefully we get your approval, then we can, and once we get a check in hand from the donor, which we expect in a few weeks, the work can start, you know, September, October, and then it will just run until it's complete. So it should be within, by March 31st of 2026. That's the end of our fiscal
End
year.
of the first fiscal year.
Sorry, we're in 24 now, so the end of our first fiscal
Yeah,
year.
you confused me there for a minute. I'm like, did we just fast forward?
Yeah,
So-
it's
So we're, right now, we're in year 2024, but this is our fiscal year 25. And don't ask me why that is, but that's how it is. So this fiscal year ends next March 31st.
Oh,
So-
you guys, okay.
But
You're in
your the
your
intent,
own kind of physical year.
yeah, the intent, the intent, Janice, though, is that if you have the money in hand, is to start this project this year, 2024, September or October.
Correct.
And then you'll go through the end of what is our fiscal year, so through March of 2025, and then continue on till March of 2026.
Correct.
Or do you look at March 2026 as the cutoff date it will be done by, if all things go according to plan?
If
Or
all things go according to the plan, that would be the end date, because we have to have all of our budgeted work done by the end of the fiscal year. If something comes up, the budgeting doesn't work, we will come back to you and explain, you know, any extension that we might require. I don't foresee that happening because we're already budgeting for our share of this work for next year.
And then I think it would be reasonable, I think in the material you sent us, you listed materials required in addition to the woods, western red cedar, eastern white pine, linseed oil putty, galvanized finishing nails, screws, wood basic and wood glue. Those types of details won't be visible, but I think that we'll just read them into the record as pieces, and I'll send it to you, Earl.
Okay, thanks.
So that because those are gonna be mostly what's used in that news, a lot of that use in that new section, the
Yeah.
bottom rail. So we'll dot all the i's and cross all the t's
Okay,
on that piece.
Sounds good.
so you'll send me the list of all the products going in.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
while we're still in the open part of the public hearing, before we begin deliberation, further questions from Pat, Earl, or Toby?
No,
The ultimate look will be similar to what I've been seeing all my years here. Only they'll look nicer.
It'll look,
Is that correct? I mean,
look
pretty
big.
much. Yeah. All right. So it sounds
It
like-
will look exact, but in perfect shape as opposed to,
yeah, no,
falling
it's going to
apart.
be a huge improvement. So
Pat, any questions?
No questions for me. It's nice to think of it getting all done and completed and not sections lingering on. So it'd be nice to see it when it's all done.
Katrina, as a member of the public, do you have any questions?
Good luck and Godspeed, as they say.
All right.
It'll be great.
Let's see. Anything else you'd like to add, Janice?
nope, I think we've said it all.
Thank you for sending a really comprehensive
yeah, very good.
description of the project, so we would have a good understanding of it. We appreciate that. That's helps enormously and
Good.
helps us to do our work. And so I will look for a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion, we close the hearing.
All right, that's Pat. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Now I got Toby's hand up.
Okay, Toby's good.
All right, all in favor?
I,
Opposed, abstaining, motion carried. All right, in the deliberation process, and I will recuse myself at this point because I have a conflict of interest.
Okay. I am really excited about the project because the fence has been, an issue for a long, long time. So thank you, whoever put up the money. And it'll be great to have it done. So that's my comment. Anyone else?
have no further questions or discussion.
Okay, Pat, are you all set?
I'm all set.
All right, then I will look for a
I'll
motion.
move to approve as submitted.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Pat is seconded. Is there any discussion?
Not for me.
All in favor? Oops, I don't
Aye.
vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, that's everybody. So it is unanimous and I am excused from both.
Thank you,
So we're all set.
thank you.
And for both Janice and Katrina, I'll have your application signed to the building official. I'm going to the building official on Thursday with them, so everything's gonna be filed with the building official on Thursday. And Katrina, I'll drop yours off, your copy off. I have a few others to drop to you. And Janice, I'll just scan and send you
Perfect,
the
yeah.
approved. So it's a pleasure to have both of you at public hearings. Katrina does a consistently excellent job of presenting her project and providing us with really detailed information. So it makes it easy for us to understand what the project is. And Janice, you've, held up the standards of historic New England in consistently submitting this. And I think I speak for all of us in saying, Katrina, we thank you as a new member to the district for being so diligent in trying to, do right by that wonderful old house that you've now got on your hands. And Janice, we applaud Historic New England for the long process that it takes to try and get this fence fixed and for the persistence with which it tackles a really difficult problem. So best of luck.
Thank you.
And I will enjoy watching the progress.
You will, you will.
So, all right, then
Okay.
thank you both. And that concludes our special meeting. And so I look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Toby, is there a second?
Second.
All right, Pat seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous, and we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Have a
Nancy.
good evening.
Good
Bye,
evening.
everyone.